Yesterday, I made a video talking about what I thought were the best things I saw at SHOT Show 2017. So today, I thought I'd revert back to my grumpy old man type and make a video about what I thought were the worst things I saw at SHOT Show 2017. Now, before I get started, I want to explain to people what I mean by the worst things I saw at SHOT Show 2017. That doesn't mean that they're the worst gun I've ever seen. It just means I didn't like them for one reason or another. I was either disappointed by them, they made me throw up in my mouth a little bit, or they just plain old pissed me off. Sometimes I can be moody, and even an inanimate object can piss me off. So keep that in mind when you listen to my list of top 5 worst things from SHOT Show 2017. Now, just like I did yesterday, I'm going to do a list today. I'm going to give you the one worst non-gun thing that I saw at SHOT Show 2017, and then I'm going to do a list of the 5 worst gun-related things I saw at SHOT Show 2017. But before I do that, yesterday I did an honorable mention. Today I'm going to do a dishonorable mention. Yesterday I gave an honorable mention to the Maxim 9 because I thought it had potential. Today I'm going to do a dishonorable mention, something I don't think made the list of worst things, but I still think it deserves to be ragged on a little bit. And that thing is, once again, the Maxim 9. Yesterday, I gave it props for the potential that it has, but when it comes to being a gun, it's just horrible. Pretty much everyone that shot it had complaints about reliability. You could just hold it in your hand and inspect it and see that it's poorly cobbled together. It's just not a good gun. It's as big as a boat oar, it's heavy, etc. I don't think this should be being marketed as a gun. This should just be an early prototype model. It shouldn't be something that came to market. The fact that they're bringing it to market worries me. Does that mean they're not going to develop it any further, or does it just mean they're trying to make some money and develop it further with that money? Either way, this gun isn't ready for market yet, so it deserves this dishonorable mention. Now I'm going to start the list with the worst non-gun thing I saw at SHOT Show 2017, and that thing is that Kel-Tec is still in business. Now, a lot of people are going to say, but Kel-Tecs are guns. Well, that depends on who you talk to. If you talk to me, no, they're not. They're just pipe bombs with triggers on them. The fact that this company is still making these things and then wrapping them in some cheaply glued together plastic and convincing people that these are, worthy of defending your life with, that still kind of bothers me. So I think that is the worst non-gun related thing I saw at SHOT Show 2017. Now for the worst gun-related things I saw at SHOT Show 2017. At number 5, I once again have a tie. Now, the first thing at number 5 is the Taurus Spectrum, or the Taurus Speculum, as I like to call it. Why do I call it that, you might ask? Well, because the only thing I could see good about this gun is that it was designed in a way that a woman could easily stick it in her nether regions, because as far as being a gun, it was awful. This gun was just a poorly cobbled together piece of crap. There were lines in the metal where it was formed improperly. The polymer wasn't made well. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind the colorful patterns and the colorful scheme. I kind of like that, but I just couldn't find any other good thing about this gun. Although I did hear one good thing about the gun, and that was from Thumbs over at Gun Websites, when he, out of the blue, pointed out that this gun looked like it was perfectly designed to keep in your prison wallet. Now, why he pointed that out, I don't know. No one was talking about that, but that was the only positive thing I heard about this gun all week. So it definitely deserves to be on this list at number 5, probably even higher, but for now it's at number 5. Now, tied with the Taurus Spectrum, or Speculum as I like to call it, is a gun that's going to make a lot of people upset. They're going to spit their coffee on their monitor and they're going to blame me, so be ready. The gun that's tied at number 5 for the worst things I saw at SHOT Show 2017 is the CZP-10. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad gun, so calm down. I'm just saying it disappointed me. It did not live up to my expectations. It did not live up to the hype. I didn't find it to be specifically ergonomic, didn't feel good in my hand, and the trigger was not this special thing that people said. I didn't think it was as good as a PPQ trigger. I didn't think it was any better than a P320 trigger. So it didn't live up to the hype, like I said. And as far as build and construction quality, I was expecting better from CZ. Every other time I've picked up a CZ, I've went, wow, this gun is way better than I ever expected. That didn't happen with this gun. When I picked it up, I just went, wow, another polymer striker-fired gun that doesn't impress me in any specific way. So even though it's not a bad gun, it's definitely number 5 on my list of worst things I saw at SHOT Show 2017, simply because it disappointed me so badly. Now at number 4 is the Zenith MK pistol. This is a little MP5 clone. When I first saw it, I was like, cool, a semi-affordable MP5 clone. But then when I actually saw one in person, I was like, what a piece of junk. This thing literally looks like it was cobbled together out of old tin cans using nothing but a rubber mallet and a pair of wire snips. This thing looks awful. It is very poorly put together. It's very rough. It's very unfinished. It feels rough and unfinished in your hand. It just doesn't feel like a good gun. I don't think it is a good gun. So it definitely deserves the number 4 position on my list of worst things I saw at SHOT Show 2017. Now, the number 3 pistol on this list is probably going to surprise some people. It is the Smith & Wesson 986 9mm revolver. Now, this is a 9mm revolver built on the 686 style platform. It is a snub nose revolver and it is a performance center model. And what didn't I like about it, you might ask? Well, definitely going to tell you here. I went there wanting this gun. But then when I saw it in person, I was like, crap, they put a titanium cylinder on it. Wasn't aware of that before I saw it. This gun is by no means a light gun. So saving an ounce or so by putting a titanium cylinder in there instead of a more proven stainless steel cylinder in there isn't worth that savings. It just ruins the gun overall for me. I'm not a big fan of scandium or titanium or any of those other types of alloys on guns like this because I don't think they hold up well. They are more prone to flame cutting and other types of damage, and I definitely don't want them on my guns. And I definitely don't want them on a big, heavy stainless steel gun. I don't care if it does save an ounce or so. So because of that, I was extremely disappointed. I now no longer want the gun, and it is my number 3 gun on my list of things I saw at SHOT Show that I just didn't like. Now, the gun at number 2, I'm not even sure I should be upset about because I'm not really certain it wasn't a joke. It is the standard manufacturing S33 volley fire. This is that little gun that fires 225 ACP rounds with the pull of every trigger. Now, a lot of people came up to me and said, oh, this gun's awesome. Big Daddy Hoffman told me he liked this gun. So I went down and looked at it, and man, was I don't know if I would say disappointed. I was almost sick and almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. This looks like one of those old steel toy cap guns you got from the 1950s, 1960s. It looked like garbage put on a table. I'm like, why did someone make this, much less let other people see it? It was kind of the gun equivalent of if you had a particularly gnarly bowel movement and then decided to take pictures of it and show it to everyone. I'm like, why? Why would you want people to see this? But like I said, I'm not sure this wasn't a joke, so I'm not going to get too upset about it. It's not going to be the top gun on the list, but this gun is definitely, for many reasons and in many ways, number 2. Okay, the number 1 gun on my list of worst things I saw at SHOT Show, things that just disappointed me, made me sick, or pissed me off, isn't going to surprise anyone. It is the Canik TP9 SF Elite. Now, before the Canik lovers out there get their panties all knotted up in their vag, let me explain why this gun pissed me off. It pissed me off because I really liked it. I thought this was a well-made gun. I liked the slide finish. The polymer was well formed, well finished. I liked that they switched to an H&K style slide stop. It was just a good gun all the way around. The trigger was decent. The ergonomics were good. This was just pretty much a good gun at any price and a great gun at the price they sell them for. So even though I won't be buying it because of my personal feelings about the Turkish government, I can't say to anyone else that this wouldn't be a great gun if you're on a budget, but you want something that's quality. But like I said, this gun pissed me off because now I have to say that I like a Canik. I have to eat all the things I've said in the past about Caniks because this one really seems to be an improvement. I really liked it, so that pissed me off. And that is why it is in the number 1 position of the worst things I saw at SHOT Show 2017. So there you have it. There's my list. I'm sure a lot of you don't agree with it, but here's the great thing. It's my list, so you don't have to agree with it. The only person that has to agree with it is me, and I obviously do. You ain't even my real dad.